This video is to show you more of the features of the appointment diary in iClarity. Filtering the appointment display. Because you may have multiple optometrists and multiple clinic types, such as Optom clinics, dispensing clinics and hearing care, iClarity will allow you to filter the display. For this example, staff types of optometrist are in green, hearing care is in blue, and dispensers are pink. If you want to find clinics that belong to only one optometrist, you can use the Filter Display by Optom button. Single click in any of the clinics that belong to that Optom, and then click on the Filter Display by Optom button. This will display only the clinics that belong to that optometrist. The button now says Filter Display by Staff Type. If you click the button again, it will show clinics for all staff members of that staff type. The button now says Remove Optom Filter. This will put your clinics back to normal. This button will work for any staff type. For example, if you wanted to find dispensing clinics, or hearing clinics. Show Single Day button. Clicking this button will change the diary view so that it only shows clinics for one day at a time, rather than filling all 6 spaces with the next 6 clinics. Click on one of the clinics of the day that you would like to view, and then click on Show Single Day. This will show one day at a time. You can navigate through a single day at a time using the arrow buttons. Once clicked, the button will have changed to say Show All Days. iClarity will return to showing 6 clinics at a time. Config Mode. Clicking the Config Mode button changes the status of the appointment diary from a standard state to a state of configuration. The clinic length will shorten, and more buttons will appear at the bottom. The function of these buttons has been covered in the Creating a Clinic video. Once clicked, the Config Mode button will change to say Max Clinics. Clicking on the Max Clinics button will change the state of the appointment diary to a maximum clinic length view. The clinic length will be extended and there will be very few buttons at the bottom. Once in the Max Clinic state, the button will change to say Standard Mode. Clicking on the Standard Mode button will return the appointment to the standard view. The appointment diary is colour-coded. Appointment slots have colours, identifying the appointment type that's booked in, and the time slots have colours, identifying the status of the appointment. If you click on the Show Colour Codes button, this will open a window that shows the meaning of the colours. The meaning of the colours for the appointment statuses is shown in the right. For example, this appointment has been registered as failed to attend. This one is registered as patient attended, and this one shows that the appointment is a non-optimal length. The colour codes for the appointment types is shown in the left-hand column. For example, this patient is being seen for a contact lens checkup. The Show Single Clinic button will open a selected clinic in a separate window. Click in the clinic you'd like to open, and then click on the Show Single Clinic button. This is most used in the examination room, where the clinic for that room or practitioner can be viewed by the side of the iClarity screen, whilst you're reviewing the patient record or completing a clinical record. The clinic in this window will stay open even when the appointment diary is closed. The clinic in this window will also refresh. So if appointments are booked or cancelled throughout the day, or when a patient is marked as arrived, the appointment window will update. How often the appointment window is updated can be set in the Branches tab in the Maintenance module. You can also open patient records from this window. Double-click on the patient's appointment, and this will open the patient's Edit Appointment window, allowing you to see any appointment notes. From this window, click on the View Patient button. If you have a practice running a single clinic each day, then this feature may also be useful on the front desk. As a patient arrives, then the front of house can double-click on the appointments in the single clinic and mark them as attended. Reducing the need to open the appointment diary. The Diary Template button. This button will open a new window which allows you to create different diary templates that can be copied in your main diary. More details of this feature will be in the Creating a Diary Template video. When the clinic view is in standard mode, you can see a series of clinic buttons. The Report button generates a clinic report with headline information about the appointments, the times, the appointment type, the patient's name and age, if the patient is new or NHS, contact details, and any notes. This is useful for clinic preparation. You can print this using the print icon at the top. Upon exiting, you will see a second page. This page gives you previous dispensing information. At the bottom, you have the Clinic History button. This will open a new window with the details of the clinic history. You will be able to see which appointments have been booked, when they were booked, and by who. You will also be able to see any appointments that have been cancelled and the cancellation reason. The GOS button at the bottom of the clinic will print the GOS forms. It does this by firstly checking the type of appointment the patient is booked in for and check if they are eligible for an NHS claim. In the maintenance of your system, there is a field which links a Word document to this button. This allows you to decide if you would like to print just GOS1 forms or also print GOS2 forms. As you move on to EGOS, this button will become obsolete. The Cards button. Clicking on the Cards button will open and print a Word document for each patient in the clinic. It's mainly used to print new clinical record cards, and if required can print a different record card for an eye examination or a contact lens appointment. If you are using clinical records, then you will have no need to print new record cards for the patients. But because this button links to a Word document of your choice, you can put this button to other uses. For example, you could print off the patient's details and ask them to check and amend the details. Or you could use it as a pre-test or lifestyle questionnaire. The SMS button opens a new window. In this window will be a list of patients who have an email or an SMS number that can be used by iClarity to send appointment reminders. The patient's mobile phone number and email address will be displayed. You can choose whether or not you would like to send an SMS message or an email using the tick boxes at the side. If you do not want to send a communication at all, uncheck both of the boxes. The main reason you may want to untick the boxes is because you have a family booked in and one parent would be receiving several messages. In this situation, you could just leave the first family member's appointment ticked and then amend the content to say you and your other family members have an appointment starting at that time. Another reason you may want to untick a line is if a patient has 2 appointments booked, for example an eye exam and a contact lens check. You could untick the second appointment so that the patient doesn't receive 2 separate messages. Once you have checked or unchecked the boxes, click on the Send Reminders button. Once the communications have been sent, those patients' appointments that had a communication will show a change in the status. The time of the appointment will go bold to show they have been reminded. This is because the reminder tick box on the Edit Appointment screen for that patient will have been automatically ticked. For any patients who did not provide a number or email, you can manually tick this reminded box once you have called them. Once this has been done, if you click on the SMS button again, you will see the following message. Reminders have already been sent for this clinic. Are you sure you want to send them again? This is so that if another staff member has already completed this task, the patients don't receive extra messages. There is also a function in iClarity Maintenance which will automatically send SMS and email reminders to patients. If this is enabled, you will see the following message when you click on the SMS button. Clinic Notes. At the bottom of each clinic is a free text box. This can be used to record information about that day or clinic. If you double click on this box, it will open in a separate window, and in this window is a highlight button. Clicking this button will highlight the notes box to draw attention to important clinic notes. Changing the practitioner running the clinic. If you need to change the name of the practitioner running a clinic, you can do this by double-clicking on the practitioner name above the clinic. The drop-down list of optons will show the staff that have the same staff type so are able to complete all of the potential appointments in this clinic. If you need to see other members of staff, you can use the tick box to increase the staff list. Once you have selected the staff member who is taking over the clinic, click OK, and the name of this practitioner will be shown at the top of the clinic.